Hello, D&D fans, and welcome to episode 8 of Holy Rollerz, a 4.5 cleric D&D campaign where each of the characters can channel divinity and at least 2 of the party members can channel sexy. We are very excited to be with you here tonight. We are not live yet on Twitch because, well, Jeff, our techie's power went out in his freaking city, and we are waiting on him to come back in, and then we will begin streaming. If not, then you can just watch the entire episode from start to finish on the YouTubes, which seems to be where most of our viewers like to watch our show, which is just fine. We want to remind you before we go ahead and get started about our lovely Dice Vault competition with John Gaitan from JBG Garage Crafts. If you subscribe to our subreddit and our YouTube channel, then once we get up to 50, we will give away one of these free dice vaults. They're beautiful. Does not have to say Holy Rollerz on it. We can custom make it with what you would like. Also, remember, John Gaitan is offering a lovely discount of 10% if you use the code Holy Rollerz, all in caps with the Z instead of S, as your discount code. He will give you 10% off. And it's gift time, right, for a lot of people. For a lot of people, it's Hanukkah and Christmas time, so it would make a very good stocking stuffer, one of these dice vaults, or if you just want it. So
also makes a great Festivus gift.
A gift for Festivus, yes, also, or Saturnalia, if any of you are celebrating that holiday. So
yeah,
yes.
Covering all the bases.
Yeah, hitting everything. Kwanzaa isn't for a bit, but I think if you want a Kwanzaa dice set, I'm sure we can also. Anyway, moving on.
Shop early.
So, yeah, you could shop early. Easter's not too far. Okay, all right. Okay, so now for a bit of lore. Naylock, the god of death and night, whom Anduriel serves, has a sordid history in the Adari Republic. Nearly 10 years ago, Naylock's clergy infiltrated the Church of Bestera at a time when the Brother of Shadows was at odds with the rest of the outer gods. Naylock desired a greater role in the rescue of Ienia, but was only given dominion over the mountain heights and contemplation. In rebellion, Naylock declared war on his own pantheon, which they could ill afford struggling against the other planar powers. Naylock's followers infiltrated the church at every level of the hierarchy, at a time when the leadership of the Church of Healing passed to a new cleric named Marie, the newest High Lady Protector. Upon discovering the corruption in the church, Lady Protector Marie called for every priest and paladin of the clergy to come to Lair, the capital city. Each clergyman was made to kiss the staff of virtue, the symbol of the High Lady Protector's office as the will of the goddess on Ienia. A massive battle ensued within the grand chapel of the Halls of Healing between Naylock's followers and Bestera's. The tide of battle was turned by the druidess Jasmine and the United Coalition of Faiths. And so, although the Brother of Shadows and the Goddess of Healing have since mended divine fences, many in the Adari Republic haven't forgotten or forgiven. So, really quickly, JT, who is it again that Anduriel serves?
I don't know, some Brother of Shadows guy.
Somebody.
It's fine.
Somebody. Anyway, so you can expect that may influence the way some people receive Anduriel if they find out. So, good stuff to know. Okay,
He
now for a
serves
small
up justice to fools.
Exactly. Although he doesn't serve the god of justice, he serves the god of vengeance. So
Potato, whatever.
they don't really. How much do they have to have it coming before he gets involved? Good question. In any case, now for a little recap. Last time on Holy Rollerz, the clerics awakened to discover the Vitraska Vistani wagons rolling off into the mist after an incredibly restful night's sleep, where even vampire Anduriel found himself rested and rejuvenated. As they resumed their journey, the clerics discovered the Vistani's parting gift had manipulated space-time in order to turn the party's 5-day journey to Winterrun into a 2-day journey. When they reached the gate, the knight on watch gave warning that all was not well within the town, particularly if they had come with the church to counsel with the church leaders. Upon entering the town, Kaylin urged the party to make for the Rose Garden Inn, an establishment she visited on her way to Hollydell, with a live garden theme running throughout the inn. Anduriel and Gizik quickly made for the back, while Kaylin connected with the proprietress, Madame Dimitri, a stout, verbose woman from Kaylin's Highland home of Arcantor. Much to the owner's delight, Lachlan began to play for the audience, which seemed to be weighed down by the recent events in their town. Moments later, a squadron of the Just Blades and a priest of the High One entered the Rose Garden Tavern and tried to arrest Gizik, claiming to have information from the faith of man that he had eaten a child. We now resume your battle, already in progress. So, we are at the top of initiative, my friends, and it's going to be a very special initiative. Now, because we are down one party member in the middle of a fight, what we are going to do is we're going to equalize the playing field a little bit. So in the midst of the battle of the last round, we are going to say that Sir Joffrey clubs Gizik in the head with the pommel of his sword. So wham, Gizik hit.
Oh, so it's Kaylin, right?
And down he goes. And unfortunately, Gizik is now unconscious down on the bottom left part of the inn. So if this is the inn, bottom left part down there. Right under a table, actually. So who knows what it looks like. But anyway, so Gizik's knocked out and slightly under a table. And in reprisal, we are going to say that Anduriel becomes enraged and swings his fist and clubs Sir Joffrey in the back of the head with the pommel of his kukri, and Sir Joffrey goes down. So Anduriel now has Sir Joffrey on the floor in front of him, Gizik on the floor in front of him. Anduriel, you can see Gizik is still breathing, because when somebody that large is still breathing, it ain't hard to see. So he snores like a rhino, and he's probably doing that.
I could smell that he's still breathing.
You can smell his breath. It's still coming out in even paces. But you do have a rather infuriated Sir Isabeau in front of you, Anduriel, and she is enraged. And we now begin the combat with the start of the turn of the Knights of the Just Blade. Now, you remember Sir Joffrey screamed out after you bit him, Anduriel, which is one of the reasons why his hit points are so very low. He screamed out that the vampire was here while you were biting him. It was a very disturbing scenario. And when that happens, one of their scenarios goes into play. Isabeau, who is away from you, Anduriel, reaches down to her belt, and she reaches down to her belt and she pulls out a flask that looks kind of like a grenade, and it has the shield symbol of Bestera on it, which looks like that. It's a shield. People make the sign of the shield for Bestera when they're praying or to ward off evil. So she pulls out a flask with the sign of Bestera's shield on it, and she hucks it at you. The captain is being choked by your shadow, correct, Anduriel?
Correct.
He is also going to throw a similar flask at you. However, he is going to have a -2 to attack because your shadow is choking him. Yeah. And Sir Dothier also is going to throw his grenade at you, Anduriel. So, Ryan, do you have a comment or a question?
Do I range attack? Does that mean he provokes the captain provokes an attack of opportunity?
If you were adjacent to him, you could make an attack of opportunity, but the captain is not.
Kaylin.
You are adjacent to Kaylin. If you would like to make an attack of opportunity, even though Kaylin is not provoking it, I'll go ahead and let you. I'm in that kind of a mood today.
She's always provoking it.
Knock her into throw.
Yeah.
Only to Anduriel.
You're only saying that because you're the first party member she's hit with the sword.
She lost you.
It was a solid hit.
Yeah, it was a solid hit. She clubbed you good. But on the plus side, that allowed her to teleport out of the flames, which was really a good act for her. Now, a reminder before they throw these grenades, Sir Joffrey is bloodied. Sir Dothier is much more than bloodied. Sir Isabeau, she has not been touched. And Captain Thoreau is not bloodied yet. The priest has an enormous planter on top of him, and he is pinned. But he is
Of
not
which I'm so deeply proud.
Yes. Now, could I have a hit point count of where each of you are? Kaylin, where are you? How many hit points do you have left? 10? None? I'm sorry, what?
Hold on.
Hold on. All right. Lachlan, how many do you have?
I'm back up to 26.
All right. Anduriel, where are you at?
28.
Okay.
According to my last tally, I'm at 10.
That's what I was afraid of. Now, has anybody used any dailies or encounter powers?
I have used an encounter power, yes.
All right. You've used one of your bites, and Lachlan, you've channeled divinity?
I channel divinity and I've used blunder.
Anduriel, you have also channeled divinity.
Yes, Shadow of Naylock.
All right, which is
I
currently.
have used Healing Word and Telekinetic Lift.
That's what I thought. So, Anduriel, have you used a heal?
No.
Lachlan, have you used a heal on anyone?
Yes.
Who did you
Majestic
use?
word.
Majestic Word. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
sorry. I used Healing Word on Gizik.
Okay. The one who got knocked out. Isn't that lovely? Okay. So,
Refund.
yeah, unfortunately, the battle is about to get ugly, people. So, in any case, here we go. Anduriel, I need your reflex, my friend.
Reflex is 15.
15. All right, so Sir Isabeau needs a 9 to hit you. And she gets a 12. So she hit you by 3. Anybody want to do anything to try to stop that? No.
Sorry, my brain is like, what to?
I don't think you have anything, Kaylin, that can help this situation. Anduriel, you take 7 points of acid damage from the holy water. And you are now taking ongoing damage 5 because it is burning you.
Okay, you said 7. Sorry, 7 points.
7 points of damage and ongoing acid damage 5 as the holy water burns you.
Okay, I'm going to I'm going to use Blade of Nightmares. It's triggered whenever I'm hit. If I'm hit with an attack, the enemy is immobilized till end.
Oh, you're going to hold her where she is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't appreciate that.
You,
Lady Ichabod.
Lady, poor Lady Ichabod. Okay. Alrighty. So, very quickly, you're going to.
Why are you always sympathizing with the NPCs? That's no.
I don't know what you're talking about, young lady. Stuff and nonsense. All right.
Okay, and plus 5 damage. Okay, until I save. Because it's burning me. Got it.
Okay. So what is this plus? Oh yeah, ongoing damage 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, he also needs a 6. The Captain Thoreau.
Is he bloodied?
But is Captain Thoreau bloodied? He is not bloodied yet, my friend.
Okay. Yeah.
He misses you, and the holy water smashes into the table, and it shatters all over the table. And you hear Madame Dimitri go, "Oh, and now you're throwing things and breaking stuff in my tables." And,
I have the burning need for Endurial to shout uncanny dodge.
yeah,
No way.
that would be lovely. And now the last one comes from Sir Dothier, and he rolled a 6 and also missed Anduriel, which is good luck for you, my friend. So holy water goes splashing all around you, hits the table. One of them actually lands on you. None of them land close enough to do any burst damage of any kind on you.
I feel like he just does a super sly, like ultra cool sidestep, like, yeah.
Okay. And so you're dripping and you're burning, and he immobilizes Sir Isabeau. How do you picture that looking?
When she hits me with the water,
Yes.
I'm melting. What a world! Who thought a little girl like you could do that to a person like me?
Okay.
No. So she hits me with the water. Blade of Nightmares. So my kukri comes out of my hand in my shadow and bashes her, just like it bashed old Joffrey there, and she goes down in a heap. She's immobilized.
Okay. So you're not adjacent to her, so that probably looks a little bit strange. I'm not sure how you pull that off, but nevertheless, you do. So she's.
Oh yeah, she's right there.
Is she immobilized? Save ends, or until the end of your next turn?
Till end.
All right, so she's immobilized till the end of her next turn. So you could get away from her if you wanted to recoup or do something and use your second wind or something like that. All right, that would be all of the Knights of the Just Blade that are currently conscious, because Sir Joffrey is unconscious under the table. And Duriel, it is your turn. You take 5 points of damage.
Did Captain Thoreau take his turn?
No. He took... well, this was all of their standard actions. None of them moved. They just hurled grenades.
Okay, because he needs to take damage on his turn.
Oh, yes, he does. Thank you. Captain Thoreau takes 5 more points of damage. And if he does not save versus your shadow effect, what is the next step that happens to him? He goes blind, right?
He's blinded, yeah.
All right. Unfortunately, he rolls a 13 and manages to break out of your shadow.
All righty.
Okay.
It was good while it lasted.
All right, so Anduriel, your shadow is going and he's choking the life. He still manages to get the grenade up, and he tries to throw the grenade at you, but your shadow grabs his hand and twists, and it flies out sideways. So he is not able to hit you. Now it is your turn, Anduriel.
All right, game time. Here we go. I don't appreciate Lady Ichabod and her little thing. Okay, Sir Isabeau. Sorry.
Lady Ichabod is just fine if you're angry. You express your anger however it is in you to express your anger.
Lady Ichabod.
All right.
So here, Anduriel is going to move over to F20.
All right, Anduriel is moving to F20, which is just on the other side of Isabeau.
Right.
All right.
And I'm going to attack with Taste of Life.
Okay. Good call.
That is against Fortitude. And that is a 19.
Okay, I'm pretty sure her Fortitude is only a 16, so you got her.
Okay, and I'm going to use Blood Drinker.
Your second Blood Drinker?
My second Blood Drinker.
Okay.
So I'm going to add 1d10 to my damage there.
Alrighty, and you gain a healing surge.
Gain a surge. Thank you. Okay. And die 8. So 16, 23 points of damage.
Oh, she fills that.
Yeah.
All right. So you, how do you picture this looking when you use Taste of Life? That's an energy draining power. Do you just bite, or do you do anything else?
No, I just bite.
She did throw holy water at you.
It was meant for her. So, I go over. As she's unconscious or she's immobilized there. She's not unconscious. She's just immobilized. So her eyes get really wide as she sees me coming over towards her. I sort of just bend down, bangs out, and just go for the neck and get myself a nice little drink there and cause some damage.
Okay. Sir Isabeau is a knight, and she has been very well trained. Obviously, she's quite proficient with her weapons. But being immobilized and having a vampire coming towards you with his teeth out is enough to unsettle the steeliest heart. And so, as you start approaching, she sees you coming. She tries again to move, realizes that she can't. Looks down. There's shadows clinging to the floor around her legs. She can't move. You come forward, and she's like, and she screams and screams as you grab her arm, pull her over, and you sink your fangs into her neck and drain the life out of her. And Taste of Life, you can drain that from the hand if you wish to. So even your grasp is draining the energy out of her. You grab her and bite her, and she screams, and then she's like, "Oh no!"
Right. Well, I think if I'm using Blood Drinker, that's where I picture myself going for the neck and getting the blood. Otherwise, I would just grab on and drain the energy. So, but in this case, I was thirsty.
He was hungry. He's
going for the fancy move.
Yeah, he's going for the... Well, I think he's also going for the, oh crap, everyone's got more hit points than I do move, which is a very valid move and lifestyle, I might add. All right, moving on. That was great. Anduriel, would you like to do anything with your minor action?
No, I don't really have many minor actions.
Okay, moving on. So that was your turn. Anduriel, you have ongoing 5 damage. Would you like to save against it?
Yes, I should do that.
Shake off that holy water.
Yeah.
I'm just hearing Taylor Swift. Great.
Do I get any bonuses for that or anything?
I don't believe so. You need to roll.
I didn't know if a 14 was enough.
Yes, a 14. 14 is enough. So.
Oh, good.
Okay.
And I don't need to go scrounging for a bonus somehow.
No, you don't need to go begging Lachlan for his leader. So, okay. Can the rest of you hear me?
You are quite soft at the moment.
Very faint.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that should be good. So if not, then it's Jesse's fault. Anyway, moving on. So it's bad hotel karma, and that's what's happened. So
I blame Jeff.
Yeah, we're blaming Jeff.
yeah, friggin' Jeff with his not here-ness, with his power outage. Anyway,
When you're not here, you just absorb all
He
the
should
blood.
have a generator.
yeah. Where's his backup generator? This is tacky. So, anyway, okay, moving on. So, Anduriel, you managed to shake off or wipe off the holy water, or you throw off your cloak dramatically and wipe off the holy water at the same time. And it billows out behind you as your fangs lengthen and the moonlight comes through the wall to shine. Anyway, moving on. That would be Anduriel's turn. Lachlan, my friend, you are up. Lachlan, you are grabbed by Captain Thoreau and his chain man-catcher. His man-catcher chain, excuse me. So
Man catcher chain.
Yep.
All right.
It is around your neck, and it is painful.
I can still move, though. I just have to stay within 5 of him.
You can still move. You just have to stay within 5.
All right. So the priest is pinned underneath the brazier, right?
Yes, he just took 16 points of damage. He is, in fact, pinned under the brazier, and he will have to make a strength check on his turn to try to shift it off of him. He is currently now restrained and immobilized by that effect.
Then I want to shift over to Q8 while I'm adjacent to him.
Q8.
All right.
And I want to bash his head in. Like, can you do that with a sword?
Well, it's not a mace. I'm glad you're moving in that direction.
I wanted to do that.
I'm glad you're moving in that direction and not the other one, because you would have clotheslined Kaylin. And I really would have enjoyed role-playing that out. Kaylin, please make a dexterity check as Lachlan whips this man-catcher chain over your head.
Well,
Okay.
frankly, since she nearly slaughtered him with her sword, it's like only fair she gets a little bit of payback.
Very true. Okay. All right, Lachlan.
With my minor action, I'm going to use Virtue. It's a one I can only use on myself.
Okay.
I spend a surge, and I get my surge value in temporary hit points.
That's going to be very useful.
And then I'm going, for my standard action, I'm going to use Virtuous Strike. How's that for some irony?
You're using a power that has virtue?
And I'm going to use that on the Fallen Priest. So
Don't you have a differently named power? Something like, I don't know, the Bash of Whoredoms or something like that?
What's his AC?
His AC is 16, but you have combat advantage, so it's only 14 to you.
That's 22, so that'll do, pig.
That'll do, pig. Why are you picking on Brother LaShawn's? What has he done to you?
He's a pagan.
Well, he said he worships a demi-power. He said the demi-power was sent by Visteria. Are you telling me you don't believe him?
I'm telling him, yeah, I'm calling bull on that one.
Okay, boo. Okay, great.
14 points of radiant damage.
All right, and I do not believe he has any kind of resistance to radiant damage. No, sir, he does not. Lachlan, as you come within the range of his aura, you feel your holy powers are weakened. Not your bardic powers, but when you attack adjacent to him with your paladin powers, you will take a -2 to attack and damage. So you only actually did 12 points of damage to him. That might solidify your theory about him being a pagan. When you find your holy powers weakened in his aura. And I will the way that you can tell is you feel like Sindel is distant from you. Like, the kind of distance that you feel when you've committed some kind of a sin and Sindel withdraws from you. So I don't know, your sin might be you didn't hug your mom when you got up in the morning and you knew you should have.
I didn't do my hair.
Yeah, you didn't do your hair. I'm sure that's a sin in your religion. Something like that. You went out of the...
You weren't at the height of your personal beauty regime, and therefore you're being punished.
You went to the supermarket with curlers in your hair. It was so embarrassing.
I wore the same shirt I wore yesterday.
White after Labor Day.
I was so gonna go there. You beat me to it.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, Jesse. I didn't mean to steal the good joke. So
No, it's perfect.
okay, anyway, so you get that same feeling right now in his aura as though Sindel has withdrawn from you. But you know instinctively that it's not her withdrawing, it's you getting more distant from her. So anyway.
Hey, I want to shout out as I'm doing that. Say, Madam Dimitri, this help me with this fraud.
Okay. And is that your turn? Anything else you'll be doing on your turn?
Nope.
All right, so it is now Madame Dimitri's turn, and she took 2 movements on her last turn, and she is absolutely furious. So she comes around the corner, and she moves into square 7P.
7P.
And that puts her adjacent to the captain, and she says...
That's not the captain, that's Kaylin.
Kaylin. Oh, never mind. She doesn't want to hit Kaylin.
They just had a moment at the bar.
Kaylin will gladly tag him with her.
All right.
It's okay. I wanted to hit her too, but
Kaylin, she runs past you, and she is in square 9N. Sorry, Captain. I put Cap down, starts with a C also. She comes charging down, and she is a big woman, so the floorboards are a-creaking as she runs by. And Kaylin, you feel like a slight dip in the floor as she comes by, and she takes...
Like the Lord has just come through.
She takes her skillet, and she two-handed swings it at Captain Thoreau.
Yeah, girl.
She has a +5, and Captain Thoreau's...
Kaylin is now in love.
Captain's... so she needs a 14 to hit him, and she got a 16.
Yeah.
Okay. She does 4 points of damage to Captain Thoreau.
Kaylin's just watching going, will you adopt me?
Plus 3 points of grease in the eyes damage.
Okay.
Probably.
No, she pulled a skillet out from behind the table, so most likely it's a dirty dish. So we're looking at disease damage here. So anyway,
2 points of E. coli.
So 2 points of ego. So she with her minor action, she flips up the handle of the little piece of wood that opens up.
Yeah, the bar.
The bar. She flips it up, comes around the corner, and she says, "I told you to leave them wee ones alone." And goes, "Pong!" And she hits him on the back of the shoulder. She was aiming for the head, but her aim was off, and she starts a cussing up a storm. "You wrestle frickin' freezes now to bong," and hits him.
Just like, I know all those words.
And as my grandmother used to say, "You little wee duchendorus," and moving on, starts just clubbing him, and she yells again, "They're priests! They're twice the priests of that thing under the flowers on the floor." And he's a little, what is, ow! So anyway, that is Madame Dimitri's turn. Brother LaShawn's turn. He's got a whole fistful of Lachlan in his face, and that is a big concern to him. So first, he's going to take his move action and try to get the planter off of him. He only has a +1 to strength checks, and he needs at least to roll a 16.
Come on.
And he only rolls a 2. So from underneath the planter,
Victory!
Brother LaShawn's goes, as Lachlan stabs in, and he goes, ow, like that, and he is unable to do anything. And so in an act of desperation, Lachlan, he is going to try to use Awaken Pride on you.
Is that a ranged attack?
It is indeed, and it provokes an attack of opportunity, which you may now take.
That's a dirty 20.
That is going to miss, unfortunately. No, it's going to hit. Even in his aura.
It's about to be real sad.
Even in his aura, you only needed an 18 to hit him.
Okay.
No.
This isn't a priest power. Like, this isn't a cleric power. It's just a melee basic
Just
attack.
a melee basic, so no -2 to damage.
Yeah.
Unless you'd like the -2 to damage.
Actually, it is my melee basic attack is virtuous strike.
Oh.
So
I am
yeah.
drunk. It's fine.
Jesse, are you encouraging him to lie to his dungeon master? Is
I
that
am. You're drunk. You won't remember it now.
that sends me to the frogs. That's what that does. I'm gonna play.
So 13 damage -2 is 11.
All right. All right. He starts chanting at you in a language that we've already established no one in the party understands. And Lachlan, what is your will?
My will is 15.
He needs a 10. And he got you.
Ooh.
What did he get?
An 18.
Oh.
Dang.
Lachlan, you take. Well,
Wait. He got his total is an 18.
he got an 18 total. No, or an 18 on the die, excuse me. So he got he suffers a -2 to attack from being prone, correct?
From being restrained, yeah.
Yeah, from being restrained. So that technically he rolled a 16, which is a 21 for him versus your will.
Dang.
On the plus side, he only rolled a 1, so he only does 5 points of damage to you, which is not bad. However, he cast Awaken Pride. And JT, do you want to tell our viewers what happens when somebody casts Awaken Pride on you?
Oh, no.
Well, it shouldn't take much for Lachlan to awaken that pride, but the person is then forced to make disparaging remarks about the people around them, including allies, which is a good time for everybody. Really builds the team.
Great for team morale and bonding.
Lachlan, you are filled with a sense of superiority and disgust as you look around at everyone around you, except for the priest.
And then why?
And all of a sudden, all of Anduriel and Kalen's faults come back to you. So on your next standard action, be prepared to insult the knights, insult your party members. So think about what Lachlan's going to be saying here. And that'll be your you'll still have a move and a minder, but that'll be your standard action that you lose. And that is Lachlan's turn. That is the priest's turn. Gizik's turn is to snore loudly. Anduriel, he flatulates in his sleep. You take 5 points of poison damage.
Oh, no.
And Duriel takes his kukri and is like, no one would know. No one
I
would
can
know.
totally do it. No one will know it's fine.
I'm going to say valid. No one would know. Okay, Anduriel, my friend, it is your turn. Or not your turn, excuse me. Kalen, my sister, it is your turn.
I was going to be like, dude, I'm right here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know how I confused the two of you.
JT gets 2 turns.
How does my Initiate of the Faith work? Because I've never used that to my knowledge.
Initiate of the Faith is just the feat that gave you your healing word.
Okay, thank you. Because I was like, I saw it and I'm like, I don't know what it does.
That's just a feat. It's not a power.
So I'm going, what are my options?
Well, you have quite a few options. However, yeah, and there's nobody around you, so you could use any of your powers that you want.
Here's a question though, 'cause she's still wrapped up in one of the man catchers. Can I move as normal, or am I just dragging a big hunk of metal? What's the deal?
Who hit you with the man catcher? Was it Sir Dothier?
I'm gonna say yes. I have no idea if that's who it actually was, but I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, so you are grabbed, Kalen, and what that means is he has a 5-square range on this chain. It's 5 squares long. So you can move anywhere within 5 squares of Sir Dothier. However, you have to be careful because you're on the end of a cord. If you run past Lachlan, you're going to choke him. If you run past Madame Dimitri, you're going to choke her. So if you want to clothesline somebody, feel free to move past them.
No. What she'd really like to do is the dude that's under the planter, stand on his neck. That is her desired goal.
Okay, to do that, you would have to go You would either provoke an attack of opportunity running past Sir Dothier, or you would have to make an attack roll against Lachlan.
Can she just ask Lachlan to duck?
On his
It
turn,
wouldn't be the first time.
on his turn, he could do that. But you'd be waiting to take your standard action until he ducks.
I'm probably gonna, because she has like no hit points. So if she goes past somebody and aggroes them into an attack, she's kind of screwed.
Well, you do have another heal if you want to use it. You want to use your healer's. Remember, your healer's mercy will allow you to give everybody within 5 squares of you a healing surge.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay.
First, at least, yeah.
But the only
Standard, yeah.
the only ally you have near you is Lachlan. Kaylin, what you can do if you want is you can use your second wind, and that will allow you to spend a healing surge.
Remind me how that works. Sorry.
You spend your standard action, and then you are allowed to spend a healing surge, and then you get +2 to all your defenses until the end of your next turn.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, so Kaylin, you use a healing surge. Your surge value is 9. You get 9 hit points back. And you still have a move and a minor action. Now, Kaylin, do you still want control of the planter with your psionic powers, or do you want to let it go?
Oh, no, she wants to hold it there.
Okay, then you have to use your minor action to maintain control over it.
That's fine.
Okay, that doesn't mean that you don't have to make it stay. What's making it stay on top of him is the fact that it's 200 pounds. What that means is that if you want to use another move action, you can lift it up and hit somebody else with it on another turn. Question? Pause a moment.
Sorry, I was adjusting numbers, and I don't know if the hotkey works in any application. So
that is not a problem.
So what she wants to do is basically just add more pressure to it.
Okay, you can't add more pressure to it, unfortunately, right now.
Okay.
But you can move it around and hit someone else with it if you so choose.
Let me look at my map here and see who's in my vicinity. Oh, I don't like having tiny screen real estate.
But if you lift the planter, the priest is going to be free.
Yeah, no, she doesn't want to do that. We're going to leave the planter where it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't need to get up yet.
Now, Kaylin, I will remind you of something. Remember, Anduriel, you have the brooch, correct? That gives you extra hit points? Kaylin, you are still wearing the green and white robe of contingency, which means the next time you get hit, you can teleport 6 squares and use a healing surge. Have you used that yet in this battle?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay, so the next time you get hit, Kaylin, use your robe of contingency perhaps, and you can teleport 6 squares and use a healing surge. So,
okay, thank you for the tip, because juggling windows is hard on small screen real estate.
No problem. Well, some of us are playing in the lobby of a hotel right now, so allowances must be made.
Much appreciated.
Plus, aren't you distracted by the allure and the glitz of PAX?
Oh, honestly, the people watcher in me is dying right now because I have to keep looking forward.
Yes. I wonder if anyone's watching you. Members of Holy Rollers enjoy playing in the lobbies of hotels. Don't ask me why. It's just
what we do.
It's what we do.
It's part of us. It's our DNA.
It's part of our style. Moving on. Okay, so that was the Kaylin's turn. Kaylin, are you going to move? You still have a move action.
Can she? Is like the question I have in my head.
You can move within 5. You could move back if you wanted to.
I think she's gonna stay where she is, but can she just cheer on Lady Dimitri? She really
of course.
Dimitri.
What do you say to her as she clubs?
Like, yay! Thank you.
So they're like, hit him, grandmother, hit him again.
Yes, hit him harder.
Yeah.
Hit him harder.
Hit him hard. She's like, and she'll probably respond back like, oh, didn't you worry, lassie, I'm gonna give it all we've got.
No lip from you. I'll hit him as hard as I can.
Kaylin still wants to be adopted so hard right now.
Okay. All right. Now is the Knights of the Just Blade's turn. Isabeau is pretty freaked out by you, Anduriel. She is not panicking, but you did just bite her and you did just harm her. I think. Anduriel, are you currently wanted by the law for any crime in particular?
No.
No. Okay, well,
I could be, but I'm.
do you think
And
there's
Kaylin just subtly scoff in surprise.
Are you rolling your eyes at that comment, Kaylin, in character? Okay. All right. Anduriel, are you wanted for any crime at all? Have you broken the law, and has anybody pursued you that has never been resolved?
To my knowledge, Anduriel's crimes would have been done in the shadows and not really have come to light. The only crimes potentially would be the ones that he's committed while in company with these folks, because we've been a little bit loud and obnoxious.
Okay. All right. So we will assume no. In that case, she is going to back up 1 square, Anduriel, and she's moving into 18G.
Now, when she's immobilized till end, it's the end of my turn or her turn?
The end of your turn, not her
Okay,
turn.
cool. She wanted to, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so she moves back into 18G.
Mm-hmm.
And she is going to try to hit you with her man-catcher chain.
Okay.
While this is happening, can Kaylin just like look up at the ceiling like she hears the outside voice going, "Are you sure? I think you should check those broadsheets again."
Yes. What is your will, or excuse me, your AC, Anduriel?
15.
15. So she needs a 7 to hit you. And she got a 2, and she misses you. All right. Even with extra effort, she would still not be able to hit you. So she's just too flustered as you're like, you're coming at her, and she's like, and she reaches down and grabs her man-catcher chain. Part of it, she lifts it up, and she starts swinging it like this. And then you're like, and she goes, whoa! And she throws it behind her, and it clanks onto the floor. She still has it attached to her bracer, but it's lying on the floor, and she looks up at you and just looks furious. And she is...
And then she trips over it and traps herself. The end.
Yeah, unfortunately, she'd have to be 2 squares away from you to charge with a standard. So she is just going to stay... I think she'll use her second... No, she's not... How bad off is she?
She's only taken 1 hit.
She's going to use her second wind also, because there's absolutely nothing else that she can do. And she will gain back a few hit points as she tries to recoup.
Go.
All right. All right. And she snarls at you, and she's like, "I'm not afraid of you." You do not need to make an insight check to know that she is lying. She is afraid of
Does
you.
Kaylin hear her scream?
Oh, yes. Yeah, Kaylin, you can
Kaylin's
hear
like,
her.
your scream would say otherwise, laugh.
Okay. Oh! Isabel gets punked from across the room. Okay, on your turn, Kaylin, you may throw that at you. Anduriel, my friend, it is now not your turn because there are 2 more knights that need to go. But I just wanted to make sure you didn't try to jump ahead on your turn.
Man, keep teasing Anduriel.
Okay. All right, Kaylin, you are attached to the chain, yes?
Yes.
Kaylin, have you committed any crimes for which you have not paid or been apprehended yet? Like, I don't know.
How
Say,
does one define crime in this particular area?
has she broken any tribal laws? Like, say, by murdering people at her wedding or anything like that?
Oh,
Not
wow.
that you would know about.
Okay. She is going to use the power smite lawbreaker on you. What is your AC?
My AC
15.
Mine says 17, I'll take your word for it.
She rolls a 1. Excuse me. Sir Dothier, who is on his last legs, rolls a 1. And
Victory!
he takes his sword and he charges at you, Kaylin. And he moves into square 9P. And he says to you, he's like, I can sense the lawbreaker in you, infidel. And he says that, and his sword glows with a white fire, and he swings it at you, and it sticks into the floor. And he goes, He pulls
And
it out.
Kaylin just gives him a big grin and it's like, and Zahara was with me this day.
Okay. And he looks at you and he's like, your pagan goddess won't save you, Outlander. Ugh. And he finally manages to free his sword. And that is his turn. So he has used Smite Lawbreaker. We'll have to see if he recharges it on his turn. And then finally, we have Captain Thoreau. Captain Thoreau has already used Masterful Maneuver, for which, Lachlan, you should be quite grateful. He is also in melee with a bartender. And he doesn't want to hurt her. So he turns around, and Lachlan, he's still got you on this chain, and he's like, Madam Dimitri, pong, pong, pong. And he's like, if you don't stop, I'll be forced to arrest you too. And so he is going to use, well, let's see, how does he want to do this? He's already got you, Lachlan. And I think you've got him in a bit of a problem. So I think he's going to make a diplomacy check and go total defense right now, since he's being clubbed over the head with a frying pan. Unfortunately, he rolls a 2 on his diplomacy check. And he said,
I love how you're rolling tonight.
I'm on fire tonight. I'm gonna have to pick it. See, sometimes the guys go with us, sometimes they go against us. So I rolled a 2 on his diplomacy check. So he's like, Madam Dimitri, if you don't cease this right now, I'm going to be forced to arrest you. Ow, come on. Stop hitting me. And Captain Thoreau just doesn't manage to sound so imposing, and she looks at him and she goes, I'm old enough to have changed your ma's diapers, you stupid. And she said, you put that sword away and you use your words. And
I love her so much.
And see, so he keeps getting hit with his front. He's like, stop it. Ow! Armor's not stop. Anyway, it's just, it's rather embarrassing.
I just shined it.
It's really embarrassing. However, he did take the full defense action, which is going to make hitting him very hard on the next turn. So that is all of the Knights of the Just Blade. And Duriel, it is your turn. You saved against the ongoing damage, so that is gone.
Yay.
And Duriel, what would you like to do? You are adjacent no longer to Sir Isabeau.
I'm going to become adjacent, first and foremost.
Okay, so you move into 19G.
19G, correct.
Or do you want to move into another square and step on Gizik?
I haven't got time.
It's always an option.
I haven't got time to bother with the stinky lump in the middle of a battle, so
we'll
just go there. All right, but I don't do it quickly. So here's Anduriel. She says, what does she say? I'm not afraid of you.
She muttered, I'm not afraid of you, and she did not make it. Oh, look, I think I see a Jeffrey coming.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Hey, there he is.
I see a Jeffrey. Oh, Jeffrey.
He's here.
All right. So,
just in time.
Anduriel, at your feet, Gizik groans and comes up onto his elbows and looks like he may be ready to enter the fight. Unfortunately, that means Sir Joffrey also begins to awaken. So,
did we
Jeffrey,
just fall asleep?
Well, you got Sir Joffrey knocked you unconscious, and Anduriel knocked Sir Joffrey unconscious, Jeffrey, and that is how we handled that.
Okay.
So you now wake up, and Sir Joffrey wakes up too. Everybody's
awake.
Everybody's awake. It's beautiful.
Yay!
We're back together. Yay!
Okay, so would we like to start streaming? We are at 9:51, so we still have 40 minutes of which we could stream.
I say go for it.
Sure.
I see. Okay.
Assuming Jeff is up for it.
Do you need a moment to configure that, Jeffrey, or?
Not very much of a moment. Let's see.
Why don't we go through and you can configure us and make it all work, and I will continue while you are doing that. Sound good?
Sure.
All right, go for it. We are doing Anduriel's turn. Anduriel, you move adjacent to Sir Isabeau. She said, I'm not afraid of you, but you didn't really believe that. What would you like to do?
Okay, so Anduriel, again, he doesn't move quickly. He says, oh, child, you're not afraid of me? You should be. And he slowly takes a step over. And the reason you should be is because I don't need my fangs to harm you. And he whips out the kukri, and he's going to do Weapon of Divine Protection.
All right. Weapon of divine protection it is.
It's against armor class, so I don't know what her armor class is.
All right. Her armor class is 19, my friend.
All right. Got to roll high here. Oh, okay, cool. I don't even need my... No, I do. Weapon attack is +7, so
That's right.
25.
25 is a hit. So you do 2d6, and then your damage bonus is 4.
Yep. It's 5 with the weapon attack, but yeah. 8, 13.
13 points of damage. Okay.
And enemies adjacent to me get +2 defenses till end. Which I don't know, or
All
not
right.
enemies, allies.
Allies.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute.
Is this weapon of martyr protection? Because okay.
I just want to make them feel like they've got a chance.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Murder them all.
And we will say, Anduriel, that the shadows of leak off of your weapon. They drip down, and little tiny figurines of shadow lift Gizik onto his feet. And that is how we will say that you are protecting him.
Okay.
Okay, so Anduriel.
Shadows are helping.
All right, she tries to parry Anduriel, but she's just too rattled, and you easily slip past her defenses and cut her with your kukri. And she is trying to maintain her composure, but you have the sense that this may be the first time she's fought a vampire before. And really, don't we all slightly wet ourselves the first time we fight a vampire? I don't know. Anyway.
But once you go vampire, you never go back.
I guess. And then you won't want to fight anything else. All right,
Yeah,
Lachlan.
exactly.
Anything else you want to do on your turn, Anduriel?
I only have a minor left, and...
You taunted her with your minor.
Yeah,
Okay, Lachlan, it is your turn, my friend, and you are facing a sticky wicket.
Okay, I move on to the planter.
The first thing you do is your standard action, or are you going to use your move first?
I'm gonna use my move first.
All right, so you climb onto the planter on top of the priest.
Yeah, it'll give me some. It'll give me some feeling of greater superiority as I then.
But you always need a platform.
Yeah, he climbs up there and then he's gonna go. He points at Kaylin and says, "Kaylin, have you ever heard of makeup?"
Excuse me?
Oh my gosh.
This is all right. As soon as this battle will be going.
Okay.
And then he says, he looks at he looks at do I have to insult Madame Dimitri too?
You need to insult everybody around you.
Okay. How far around?
Everybody within about 5 squares of you need to insult, although you're not limited.
How far does this reach?
You can also insult Isabel or Anduriel. It depends on who does Lachlan get irritated the most by or feel the most superior to. For those of you who are just joining us on the stream, the Priest of the High One, much like the other priests did in Hollydale, has cast Awakened Pride on Lachlan and succeeded.
Yeah, okay, so I insult Kaylin, and then I think even though he's clear across the room, he sees Gizik, and he's like, Gizik, you just lie there like a maggot, only uglier? Get up!
Oh.
Hurt feelings.
And then he says, and you call yourselves knights? You can't even dodge a frying pan. And then I can't insult the priest, huh?
Nope, can't insult the priest.
And then, for added flavor, just for our enjoyment.
Yeah. And Madame Dimitri, a frying pan, really? You don't have a cleaver? Are you too stupid?
Okay. All right, she's
the wrong lady to piss off.
Yeah, she's like, well, don't you give me cheek, dear. You get the other side of the frying pan. I'll cut you. And although she's rather surprised that you've turned on her. All right, you'll still have a minor action that is yours, my friend, unless you want to insult someone else.
No, his minor action is he looks and he says to Madame Dimitri and Kaylin, who are there, he says, I'm so sorry. This fool is reckon with or mess with my head.
Okay. All right. You can apologize with your minor action. Make your save. Let's see if the enchantment remains upon you.
But he doesn't apologize to Gizek. I meant that one.
19.
All right. You snap out of the enchantment, Lachlan, and you're very embarrassed as a disciple of the goddess of love to realize that someone has put the whammy on you and been charmed. So anyway, it's rather discerning, and everybody's everyone's kind of irritated and looking at you all. Kaylin's seen this effect before, so she's like, I've seen makeup on streetwalkers.
Yes.
So, sorry, Kaylin, to put words in your mouth, but you can choose how you react. All right,
No, I approve.
that is Lachlan's turn. She was not moved by that speech by Sir Captain Thoreau, so she's going to swing her frying pan at his head again.
Well, let's face it, it was a top speed.
And she has a +5 and rolled a 14. She got exactly what she needed to hit. And she does 8 points of damage and hits Captain Thoreau upside the head with her frying pan. So he's like, I'll be forced to arrest you. Boom! Oh!
And she's going to grab his ear.
Yeah. All right. She hits him and she says, you better stop this right now while you've still got a pot to piss in. And that's what she says to him. And so that is Madame Dimitri's turn. She's not going anywhere. She orders you put a stop to this right now and you speak like a civilized thing. And that's what she says. That'll be her turn?
I'm just falling deeper and deeper in love.
Okay. LaChance can't see you now, Lachlan, because you're standing on top of the planter and he's pinned under it. He is going to make another strength check, and he does not make it. So now there's a Lachlan on top of you. The DC is 8. Excuse me. Lachlan, how much do you weigh?
Like 160.
160? Okay. He now needs to roll a natural 19 in order to get out of this. And you are standing on top of it. However, Lachlan, he's moving it and it's wobbling. So on your next turn, you're going to have to make a dexterity check to see if you don't fall off, or an athletics check.
What if I just get off?
You can get off on your turn if you want to. Okay, and that will be Brother LaChance is going to attack. He cannot see you, Lachlan, but he can see Kaylin, and he doesn't like her.
Does anyone like Kaylin at this point?
Well, she'd put on some makeup. No, I'm not sure. He's going to cast...
I will not hold that against you right now.
I didn't start it. Okay. He is going to cast Curse the Inferior at you. What is your will, Kaylin?
Hey, Matt. He's in my Defender aura.
And that means what?
And that means he's got a -2, and if he makes an attack against her, he's going to take some radiant damage.
I think it's 15, but you may want to double check.
It is 15 because you gave Anduriel the amulet.
I need to adjust those. Can you get it?
Thanks.
No!
Back it up.
I'm backing up the 20.
No.
He backed up the 20 with a 16.
He's got a -2.
Okay, I only rolled a 4. Only rolled a 4. Okay. That -2 did not save it.
Do not like.
Okay, Kaylin Madeir.
He takes 7 points of radiant damage.
Because you marked him, yes?
Yep.
All right, with Virtuous Strike, you marked him?
It's my Defender's aura.
Okay. Oh. Kaylin, you take 14 points of damage.
Oh, good God, I'm almost dead.
You're down to 5. Kaylin, would you like to activate your Robe of Contingency?
Yes, how do I do that?
Okay, you just do it as an immediate reaction.
Kaylin, you have to
Kaylin,
rub it over your head.
actually, you must take the robe and do the truffle shuffle.
You must bring me the broomstick of the Wicked Witch of the West.
We want a shrubbery.
Yes, I got out of nowhere.
All right, so Kaylin, the magic activates, and you can decide what you want it to look like when she does this.
Say that again. I had a brief split, please.
You-
Magic what now?
You can decide what it looks like when she does this, when she activates her robe of contingency.
I don't even know, like, is it a vocal thing? Is it a...
It can be if you want to, but what does it look like when she vanishes and teleports?
Oh, when she vanishes and teleports? I think that she kind of, like, she closes her eyes and she holds for a second and she disappears in, like, a puff of purple smoke.
Okay.
Kind of like Nightcrawler style.
Okay.
And she reappears. But she's, like, really uncomfortable with it. She's not done it a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she's a little disoriented. It's the first time she's ever used
around
it.
the room going, where am I now?
All right, Kaylin, you are no longer grabbed because you have teleported out of Sir Dothier's man-catcher chain. And you heal up 9 hit points, Kaylin, which puts you up to 14.
It's like it never happened.
I wish. That would be 39.
Okay, so you're down to 14 hit points. Kaylin, where would you like to teleport to? You can move 6 squares in any direction.
And Lachlan's still on the planter, right?
Yes, but the planter is rather, well, yeah. I mean, if you move on to the planter, you're going to run into Lachlan, and I'd love to roleplay that.
Give me a second to look at the map here, and then I will be back with you.
Okay. Alrighty, so Kaylin is teleporting, and there's a sound, and then there's a as Kaylin has a moment of indecision because she doesn't know where she wants to go.
Well, I didn't want to leave the mic open while I looked at the map. So, all right, so she's on R10.
All right.
On the other side of Planter Man. And what do I have left to move?
All right, Kaylin, you have used, it's not your turn. That happened on his turn when he hit you with the spell.
Got it, thank you.
All right. However, Kaylin, you are knocked prone by the spell. You are forced to kneel because you feel inferior to him, and you grant all. And you are also forced to incline your head and genuflect. So,
Can
Kaylin,
you do it with like gritted teeth?
well, and the worst part about it is you can, because you're on your knees and you're in prone position, and you look down, and the priest is under the planter, you are looking right into his eyes. Do you say anything to him?
So angry right now.
All right. Well, we'll see what she says on her turn.
Well, can she just like be looking at the priest and go, just wait. Just
Yeah.
wait until I get up again.
Just
Fight him.
wait, you stupid haggis. Okay, that's fine. All right. That is his turn, and that's all he can do. And I think he's going to shout out, Captain! Captain, get this thing off of me! And the captain, however, is being pummeled to death by a frying pan. So he's a little occupied at the moment. And
He's gotten choked by a shadow, beaten by a frying pan. He did not expect any of these things this morning when he woke up.
I'm so happy with the frying pan thing right now. I'm so happy.
Gizik, my friend, it's your first turn. Andurial Shadows lift you up from a prone position. Gizik, you are on square 18F. Sir Isabeau is to the right of you in square 18G. And Sir Joffrey also stands up in square 18E. So right now you're being flanked by Sir Isabeau and Sir Joffrey. If you try to make a ranged attack, you will suffer an attack of opportunity.
All right. Do you remember if I still have anybody bewitched?
You have, yeah, I wrote it down.
Joffrey?
You have Captain Joffrey is bewitched.
Okay, well, I'm going to use my minor action then and slide him.
Okay.
Actually, I don't remember what the effect was on him, so I will use the minor action to change the effect to moving him.
All right.
And then use my move action to slide him to E19.
Okay.
Not flanked anymore.
All right. You are no longer being flanked.
And then I'm going to attack him with my dreadful claw.
Oh, that sounds mean. Okay.
It is. Just, my claw's dripping with this just vile black substance. And Let's
An
see what I can
unnamed
do to him.
What is the substance?
Okay.
How do we know? How can we tell? That's not-
All right, so that's a 21 versus AC.
that hits.
No, sorry, versus reflex.
That still hits. At level 2, 21 hits pretty much everything.
Unless it's
Thank
23.
Goodness.
All right.
Okay, so that'll be 12 damage, and he's dazed, and I'm going to slide him one more to E20.
Oh, the poor wee lad. All right. So you start chanting, and then your claw starts coursing with black energy and dripping with ichor, and you claw him, and then I picture you grab him by the chainmail, and you throw him into the square you pushed him into. So you moved him where, did you say?
It's just another space in the same direction to E20.
All right. And you ram him up against the back of the table, and he looks a little bit disconcerted. He is definitely more than bloodied. Sir Joffrey doesn't look like he can take too much more of this.
So he's dazed until the end of my next turn.
Okay, and neither will he be able to do much beside charge attack you. So, okay. And that is the Gizik's turn. Gizik, you want to do anything else?
That's all my actions. So,
Okay.
No.
Alrighty, that was
I'll
Gizik's
growl
turn.
at him.
You're going to growl at him. Kaelin, my dear, you're prone and you can't get up unless you make a save at the end of your turn.
Okay.
So,
Can I get a
Kaelin,
save first?
oh, the effect, the spell that he has you under is forcing you to kneel and incline your head. So, now the nice thing is,
So
Kaelin,
angry.
you can make a save at the end of your turn, but you still get your turn. You just can't get up on it.
That's fine. She can do what she wants without moving.
Just poke him.
She's going to use Mind Thrust. I know it's range, but she doesn't really care.
Okay, that will provoke an attack of opportunity from him. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, she's real okay with that right now.
All right. Well, you are both prone, which I believe doesn't make, but he's restrained. So he does get a -2 to attack with his mace.
Okay. One quick thing though, because I
Yes.
still have one power point to spend,
Okay.
so I would like to augment it.
You would like to augment it.
Yes.
Okay, you can only augment your encounter powers, not your daily.
This is not a daily. This is an at will.
Oh, mind thrust. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he rolled a 1 on his attack of opportunity, so you got him.
Magic.
All right, and his will, my sister, it's 15. You need a 10 on the die. Except you only
So
need
what am I rolling?
the die 20. You're attacking.
Okay.
You only need an 8 because he's restrained.
I got a 16.
You got him. You're in his mind, and you're going to augment with 1 or 2 power points.
I only have one, so I'm going to use the one I have left because I
Okay.
used another one previously.
All right.
So that will bring it up to 1d10 plus 3 psychic damage and -2 will until the end of my next turn.
All right. So roll your 1 die 10 and add 4.
Okay, let me find it. It's the funny percentile one, isn't it?
Yes, these are the die 10s right here. That's what they look like.
Oh, not that one. Okay, hold on. The other one.
Yeah, not the diamond, but the one that looks like a gemstone, but is not.
Got it. 3.
Total?
Yes. Unless am I adding a modifier to that of any kind?
You're adding 4. 3. You add 4 to the damage.
Okay, so 7 total.
Yeah, anytime you use a psionic power, you always get to add your damage bonus.
Okay.
All right, so Kaelin, you're in his mind, and what do you make him imagine is attacking him? A bunch of ladies
Well,
with frying
first of all,
pans?
when she gets in there, he just hears a giggle inside his skull. And she's
Okay.
like, hi.
Okay.
And then, yes, it's just a barrage of never-ending frying pans.
Okay. So who's
A frying pan.
are they disembodied frying pans, or are they okay? Are they being held by big?
Disembodied frying pans.
All right. So he looks around and he goes, she's a witch, pong, 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 and he like, and he just.
And she's just laughing and slapping in his head like a small demented child.
Okay, and that is pretty much what happens, and that's pretty mean. And Kaylin, you still have a move and a minor action. Now, Kaylin, remember, you have far hand. You could use telekinesis to fling something at someone else or at the priest.
Can I stack another pressure on top of the priest?
Can you? Well, you could, but the deal is far hand only lifts 20 pounds.
That's true. No, I'm thinking of telekinetic lift.
Okay. All right, so you're going to move.
Table on top of it.
No, but you could hit somebody with a chair. The chair is not more than 20 pounds.
Let me look at the map 1 second.
Yeah, you can hit anybody you want around
Can
you.
I chuck Sir Duffy in the face with a chair?
You can absolutely do that.
Okay,
So,
she's going to literally directly at his face, pick up
All
a
right.
chair and throw it.
use your psionic attack bonus, which is +5. And Sir Dothier's reflex is 14, so you only need a 9 to hit him. Big money, big money, big money.
Oh,
Oh, you got him. Kaylin, roll 1d6 and add your psionic damage bonus.
okay, 3 on the die. Let me look at my bonuses. Is it +4, did we say?
Yes. No, +5. Oh, no, wait, yeah. You're right, yeah, +4.
7.
Great. Kaylin, you drop Sir Dothier. Okay.
With the chair.
All right.
The best way.
WWE style.
Roll.
Okay. So, Kaylin, you're frustrated as all get out because you physically cannot force yourself to stand up. You just can't make your body do it.
She's like, I'm going to grab whatever I can, and I'm just going to chuck it at you.
All right. How do you picture her doing it? Does she reach out with her hand and grab it, or does she just...
Well, can she like move her head side to side, or
Yeah. She
Okay.
can't lift it, but she can move it side. She's being forced to bow, but she can still go like
Okay.
that.
Okay. So she's just going to look at the priest that's kind of underneath and be like, fine. How you want to do it? This is how we'll do it. And you just see the chair come up off the floor and go boom, right into the guy's face.
All right, so Lachlan, you're a little bit disconcerted when one of the chairs next to you just levitates off the ground. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. It
And she's just like, I
flies.
didn't hit anyone today that belongs with me.
It flies right
is
past
young.
you. It turns in the air a couple of times, loops back around, and slams into Sir Dothier and drops him into a heap.
1 point for the House of Taylor.
And he is now unconscious on the floor. That square has become difficult terrain, by the way. 9p, because Sir Dothier is on the floor in this square. And that is Kaylin's turn. We are back up to the top. Sir Isabeau. Oh, Anduriel. She's got an Anduriel, and she's got a Gizik on her.
Where is Tanduriel?
He is in square 19G, diagonal from you. All right, she backs up towards that square table in the center of the bar and shifts back to 17H. And Anduriel, she is going to try to hit you again with her man-catcher chain. What is your AC?
It is a 15.
All right. She only got she gets a +8. She got a 17, my friend.
Gotcha.
So, Anduriel, she has managed to clasp this bad boy around your wrist.
Mm.
It has nasty little blades on it, and it does 9 points of damage to you. And Anduriel, you are grabbed by this. You will have to damage the apparatus itself in order to get away because it's attached to her gauntlet by a lock, and the other part has snapped shut and clicked shut around you.
Cool.
So if you want out, you have to hit her AC, and you will damage the object.
Or some other way.
Or something sneakier, Charlie. Okay. All right. Oh, where did that come from?
I don't know.
So
Right.
far, teleporting or possession or something like that, it's been pretty effective. So try that.
All right. Gizik, you slid Sir Joffrey towards you. Gizik,
I slid him away from me.
away from you, yeah. He is going to try to do the same thing to you. He is going to attack you. He got a 15 versus AC. What's your AC?
16.
16. So he
You got +2 to your defenses as well.
Oh, okay. 18.
Because of Anduriel's spell, you are protected. So he starts whipping that man catcher chain back and forth like this, Gizik. You're a little disoriented, and he goes, I said you were under arrest, and I meant it. And he goes to crack it, and it goes sailing right at your face. And you realize you're like, I'm not going to be able to block it. And shadows come from off the floor, and they wrap around the chain and drag him to the floor. And then he just looks up like just horrified. Now, that was his minor and his move action.
That was his standard. He only has a standard. He's dazed.
It's a Oh, that's right. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you very much. And that's all he can do. So, very nice. If you weren't dazed, he could do something worse to you. So, thank your local Lachlan. Okay, very good.
Is it good?
All right. The captain is going to punch Madame Dimitri.
How dare he?
You just hear him go, no!
He doesn't have any other. He says, I warned you, old woman. And he is going to swing and roll a 12, unfortunately.
Kaylin is not a happy girl.
He does 1 plus 6. He does 7 points of damage.
No, Grandma!
He does 7 points of damage to the old lady, and she does not take it well. You can tell if she gets hit like that again, she's going to go down.
No!
And
Dang.
he tells her, he says, you left me no choice, old woman. And he says, back away now or I'll be forced to render you unconscious. He says, like he's really angry and embarrassed that he had to do it. And he's like, you forced the knight. He's like, you interrupted the knight in the pursuit of his duty. What did you expect? And but she just looks at him with fear in her eyes. And then all of a sudden he looks around to see if anybody noticed what he did. Like,
Can Kaylin, in like her home language, just start like cursing him? Like, if you touch your hair on her head, I'll skin you alive. But he doesn't understand a word of it.
okay, Kaylin, you need to make a saving throw, which we forgot to do on your turn, to see if you broke the spell. Roll the 1d20, add nothing. You need a 10.
I got a 1.
Okay. All right. Kaylin, your roll is so bad that you're actually forced to like genuflect and put your head to the ground.
She's dying right now. This is Dexter.
Okay. So was that all the knights? Was that Sir Dothier? No, he's down.
He's dead. The one underneath the planter didn't go.
Okay.
He's the priest, though.
Oh, the priest. Yeah, the priest didn't.
The priest does not go on that turn, and Duriel, it's your turn.
Okay, cool. So I have a thing that's a close burst 3. Does that mean within 3 squares of me or within 3 squares of each other, the targets?
If it's a close burst 3, it emanates from your square, 3 squares in every direction.
Excellent.
That's the answer he wanted.
I'm going to do Swarm of Shadows. I'm going to drop my daily here.
That's not a burst, Jared. That's not a burst. That's a blast. That's 3
Oh,
squares.
blast 3.
3 squares in front of you like this. Comes out in a cone.
Okay.
So if you want to use that, you will only be able to hit one person because they're at
Oh,
opposite
hit
ends
one
of
of
each other. Yeah.
Oh, so the difference between a blast and a burst. Okay.
Yes, in 4th edition.
Okay. Cool. I'm still going to use it. On Joffrey.
Okay. What does it target?
Target's Fortitude.
Sir Joffrey's fortitude is only 16. Ew. So And this is a vampire attack. You need an 11.
Doesn't matter. That's a 20, folks.
A dirty or natural?
Natural, a natty.
Back it up. You need a 6. Well, hold on. You're +5 at your vampire attacks?
It is yeah, it's +5.
Or is it +6?
No, it's only +5.
Except you advanced.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it should be +6. All right, so what did you roll to back it up?
14.
So you rolled it. All right, roll the 1d6.
This is the part that always... No! I got a 1.
Well, it doesn't matter because your power does max damage. So 18 and add your damage bonus. You don't have to roll.
3 dice 6, so yeah, 3 dice 6 and then +7. What is that?
Anduriel, you drop Sir Joffrey.
Uh-huh.
So I teleport to the square kind of right next to him, 19, and I'm invisible.
Okay.
And the way Swarm of Shadow works is the shadows gather around him. I teleport outside of the chain, the man catcher chain.
Yes, you do.
And he just starts getting bit up. He's screaming inside the shadow, and you see flashes of my hair and bits of whatever. And then all of a sudden he stops screaming, the shadows die away, and he's laying there dead.
Okay. On the floor. Now, he's not dead, but he is dying. I would like to, at this point, remind everybody that we are now, in effect, killing members of the city guard in the town. This will have consequences.
We are super bad at this priesthood.
I don't know that Anduriel is the kind of character who's going to care. I'm sure he's used to operating outside the law. So,
like ultra bad.
But for those of you who have good alignment, this does become rare as we drop 2 of the just blades.
So he's not dead. So I couldn't use like a prayer for the dead on this one.
He's not dead yet. No.
What would he need to do to be dead?
He makes 2 death saves.
Oh, okay.
If he fails his turn, then he gets another death save. If not, he gets a third. If he doesn't make his third death save, he slips onto the road of redemption, heading towards Naylock's kingdom.
Okay, fair enough.
You could also give him a coup de grace.
Yeah, if you want to finish him.
If he takes damage equal to his bloody value, then he's dead.
Dead. Yes. Kaylin, you were saying?
Where am I in initiative?
Where are you?
Stop this.
You are all the way at the bottom, as it turns out.
Which is marvelous.
Okay, Anduriel is invisible. Lachlan, it's your turn.
I'd like to use my action point.
Have you already used it? I don't remember. I did not mark down who used it. Okay.
I haven't used it yet. Now that I've taken care of that guy, I'm going to go over and take a shot at Isabeau.
Okay.
Weapon of Divine Protection again.
All right.
That's versus armor class.
Her armor class is 19, my friend. So you, with a +8, need to roll an 11.
Yeah, +8.
Oh, no, wait. You have combat advantage because she can't see you. You need a 9.
Okay. Hopefully I don't need it. Hopefully I get like a 20.
Hopefully.
Oh, I got a 9.
Oh! Being invisible has its perks.
Oh, boy. Whew. Okay.
I am happy Kaylin is worried.
All right, so 2 dice 6 damage. So that's 8. So 13 points of damage to Isabeau. And I guess I end up on G17. Outside of her man catcher.
Do you teleport there for some reason? Like, how do you... Oh, you haven't used your move yet, have you?
Right, I haven't used my move.
All right. So you are right next to Sir... All right. He has been dropped. All right. Okay, there you are. Oh, whoops. I just wrote Sir. He's been dropped. That's Anduriel. Poof. There you go. Gizik, Anduriel runs past you. You feel... unless he runs quietly, but he'd have to make a stealth check otherwise. Alrighty. And that, my friends, is the Anduriel's turn. Now it would be Lachlan's turn.
How hurt is the priest?
The priest he's
Not
bloodied.
hurt enough.
He's more than bloodied, but he's not out of the fight yet. I mean, other than having a 200-pound planter on his chest. And a slightly chubby bar. No, I'm sure Lachlan's not chubby.
I'm sure it's
Okay.
not slightly.
Lachlan suddenly takes offense at something that he can't hear, but he's like, I feel like I was offended in the distance.
I'm curious, if Lachlan's BMI goes past like 20, does he have to go to confession? I'm not sure how that. Does he get sent to Sindel camp? I'm not sure how that.
Definitely a saving throw.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just saying. Okay. Lachlan, what are you doing on your turn? You have to get off the planter, or you're going to be making a check.
Yeah.
So you move first. Where do you go?
I'm gonna move to 010.
All right. Lachlan moves right. He moves right next to the captain.
Is the captain bloodied?
Nope. Captain Thoreau is hurt. He's been struck with a frying pan to the back, to the head. She hit him, and she did quite a bit of damage, but he is not bloodied yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to just attack him with actually since oh no, I can't do. Sorry, I was gonna move into flank, but it would provoke an attack of opportunity.
From whom?
From Thoreau.
Yeah.
I'd have to slide past him. Yeah, I want to. I'm going to use Virtuous Strike and
Okay.
attack him. And as I swing my sword, I'm going to say, "You are the most honorless knight that ever was, slapping or punching an old woman.
She
Shame
started
on
it.
For
Shame.
real.
Shame. Bestera would never have you."
Oh.
What's his AC? That's the 21.
His AC is 19.
Well, he's taken 11 points of radiant damage from me.
Alrighty. Okay. He looks at you with just rage when you demean him like that. And his next turn will be interesting.
That didn't bloody him, did it?
Nope.
Okay.
Not quite yet. He was a healthy guy. And
Okay.
that is Lachlan. What else? Anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to use a minor action to use Bardic Inspiration.
Haven't you already used that? Can you do it more than once?
Yeah, it's usable. It's usable per day, 4 times per day.
Okay.
Um,
You already used it once on Gizik, so who's getting it?
Yep. I think I'm going to use it on Kaylin
Okay.
and say to her, finish
Talk about
off.
you.
Yeah, well, finish off that serpent-tongued liar underneath the planter.
Okay. And Kaylin, suddenly you feel like I think I can. Yeah. Like so. All right. Now it's Madame Dimitri's turn. She gets a very scared look. She shifts back 1 square, and then she runs, which is more like a waddle, very quickly. And she moves back into square 6J. And she starts screaming at the captain and alternately grabbing her stomach and yelling at him. And she's like, "You're a coward. If I was 20 years younger, I would have picked up your own sword and turned you over my knee.
I was so waiting for
Okay. Slimy, useless, no good, chain-plated son of a..." And then she goes off on a swearing streak in Arcanite language.
that would make Kaylin applaud, and does.
But she can't take another hit like that, and she knows it. So that is Madame Dimitri's turn to withdraw, and that is what she does. Brother LaChance's turn is next. He already used that. Boy, he is in a bad way. Kaylin, you have not
Is he the one under
broken.
the planter?
He is still under the planter, but Lachlan, he can see you, and he is going. And Kaylin is no longer. Oh wait, Kaylin is adjacent. Kaylin, you may make an attack of opportunity on him. He is going for Lachlan.
Okay, so what do I do?
You just need to make a melee basic attack. You add a +6 to your 1d20 roll. You need to get a. He's restrained, so you get a +2 to attack him. You have combat advantage. So you are technically adding 8. You need to roll an 8 on the 1d20.
Hi. I got a natural 20.
You got a natural 20. Back it up. Roll to confirm your crit, my dear. You need an 8.
Oh, fingers crossed. And then I got a 1.
No critical hit, but you do get to roll, 2d6 for your sword and add 2. Oh, roll 2d6 and add 2.
So the 2d6 came out to 7, plus 2 is 9.
Okay. Brother LaShawne's is definitely bloodied, Kaylin, and he doesn't look like he can take too much more of that. So
Okay. Can I talk yet?
you can talk, but you can't stand up until you break the spell. So go ahead and make your save now. Roll a 10 on the 1d20 and you break the spell.
He's gonna kind of higher. 11.
You break it. Okay. At the end of your turn, though, Kaylin, so unfortunately you don't get to use it. Now, would you like to maintain control of the planter or the chair?
Yes.
Or both?
The planter, definitely the planter. The chair shouldn't have to worry about it.
Right. You can't move yet until your next
That's
turn,
fine.
but you still have 2 actions. You can maintain both holds.
Okay, then she'll do that.
All right. So you're concentrating, a little bead of sweat, but you still have the planter and you still have the chair.
Okay. Can she, because she wants to tell Grandma to get behind the bar.
Yeah.
She's like, Granny, get behind the bar. She's very worried about it. She wants her to get spot.
All right.
And then,
She's just kind of like, I'm not sure she hears you in her swearing tirade.
okay, that's fine. She wants to look at the priest and go, either you end this now or we do. I prefer to end it with not a lot of people dead. I've already done that once. It's not a great thing, but I'll do it if I have to.
Kaylin, make a diplomacy check.
Oh, we're going to fail that real hard.
You have a -1 to your charisma, but you have a +1. So roll the 1d20 and whatever it is, it is.
3.
All right. So you say that to him, and he looks at you and he says, what does he say? He's like, I'll have you back on the floor in no time, woman. And when I'm done, the High One will burn you to ash as you should have been. Now help me get this planter off of me.
You're saying that under a potted plant, but okay.
All right. He's going to have a hard time doing that under the potted plant. All right. That was...
Please tell me it's like Daisy.
That was Kaylin's turn. Now, we are at 10:35, my friends. We did start a half an hour late. I'm willing to keep going, but I understand that many of us can't. So if anybody is ready to go, just go ahead and text me or whisper me in chat and let me know, and I will end it right here because we would be starting another round of combat at this point. So go ahead and send me a chat message and let me know, are we going to keep going? Or text me and say, we're done. Very quickly.
And then the Jeopardy Queen music plays.
And then either we shall resume or we will hand it over to JT for Consider This. And here we go. Okay. All right. So we're going to close for the evening. And I think what is going to end up happening is we will probably have a ceasefire at this point because we are dropping them like flies, and we'll resume from that ceasefire as we continue. So that is what we shall do. All right, ladies and gentlefish, we are done for the evening, except for our Consider This. And JT has Consider This for this evening. So JT, the floor is yours.
All right, thanks. So to consider this tonight is sort of inspired. I a few weeks ago had the opportunity to attend a funeral of a young man that I knew who had decided to take his own life. Now, I don't know what was in his head or in his heart at the time that he made that decision, so I can't really speak to that. However, I did want to talk a little bit about our self-worth and value, the value of a person. So here's what I know. In life, sometimes we get discouraged either because of choices that we make or situations that we find ourselves in that aren't even of our own making. And we start to focus on that discouragement. We start to see ourselves as insignificant, or we doubt that we have much worth at all, or that we're too small for anyone to take notice, or that we're forgotten somehow. So that's natural, I think. So the next time you feel that way, if you ever do, consider this. God is real. This being has created galaxies, all right? This same being has also created you, me, and everyone else. We are literally sons and daughters of God. And because of that, we are inherently and eternally valuable to him and to people around us. So just consider this. God sees you not only as a mortal being on a small planet who lives for a brief season, he sees you as his child. He sees you as the being you are capable and designed to become, and he wants you to know that you matter to him. A man named Dieter F. Uchtdorf said that, and I fully believe it. And it's just something that it's too easy to believe the lie that we don't matter. And so instead of doing that, let's start to believe the truth about who we are, where we came from, and what we're capable of. And we'll find out that we're pretty dang important, every single one of us. And so that's all I wanted to say. Just consider that.
Awesome. Thank you. Anybody have anything they'd like to add to that?
Nope, just beautifully put.
Yes, I will echo that same sentiment. I testify to the exact same thing. And I will say that the older you get, the more the likelihood increases that you are going to get into a situation or a period of your life where it feels like there's no happiness and there's nothing that you have to live for. And if you just hold on, you can get to that next phase or that next place where happiness is around the corner. Everybody goes through that period of time when you're like, I don't have anything making me happy. And it takes work to get past that. Sometimes it just takes time or healing. And some people, they live much of their lives with that feeling a lot. But there are so many wonderful experiences to be had in life. And the amazing thing is, if you look at the people who are on this stream, I did not meet all of these people like long ago. We haven't all been friends forever. But I feel like we've known each other on this stream forever. If you don't have a support network like that, I'm 38 years old and I have just now found even more friends. I mean, I've known Ryan for what feels like an eternity, but I've known him forever. But look at all these other wonderful people. I mean, there are people out there ready to love you. It just takes time to find them sometimes. And that's all I have to add. So I hope that's okay. So anyway, unless anybody else has anything to add, that's our show for the evening. Thank you for those of you who are watching now or those of you who are watching later. There are plenty of us out there now, geeks through the world. So have a good night. Goodbye. Take care.
Bye.
Hey.